Welcome to the Women in Leadership Body, Mind, Soul, and Business podcast. I'm Charlie.
And I'm Heather. And together we are working to connect women in leadership and business to build relationships, empowering each other, improving the health and wellness of our community, body, mind, and soul, sharing the heart and soul of who we are and what we do.
Yay! Today's guest is a very creative spirit with an eye for flair and fun. She's super down to earth and just a joy to be around. Please welcome to the table for our first time with us today, crafting queen from Crafty O Soul, Sheila Merritt-Cavanaugh. Sheila.
Hi,
so
thank
nice
you for
to have
having
you.
me. So excited to be here.
I'm excited and thank you for coming to the studio today.
Yes.
I think it just adds a little bit more fun for us, and you know that connection is a little different.
I love being here. It's beautiful.
Oh,
I love it.
Thank you. And the drive up is not so shabby either. But
No, it's nice.
Take a couple of minutes and introduce yourself, like to anybody who might not know who you are and what it is you do.
I'm Sheila with Crafty Old Soul. I've lived in Arlington, Washington my whole life, and that's where I do most of my business, but I do ship and things like that. I do tons of creations. I love to do personalized things and custom orders. It makes it more special to me when I can work on something that somebody actually says, I want this. I want to be able to put this in my husband's shop or whatever it might be. You know, if it's a personal thing, but I still create many, many, many more things. I do a lot of epoxy resin projects and I do a lot of sign making and cards. I used to do tons of things. You know, I'd work on this project for a few hours, then this and this, and I had to narrow that down and just kind of focus on a few and get those perfected and right instead of halfway or just feeling like, oh, that one will get finished when it gets finished because now I have a new idea. You know, so I just kind of had to narrow that down, and I had to, and I actually am more successful that way. And I started the business, I should say we, because my husband is 150,000% supportive of everything I do, and I love that. But like in the 2020, late 2020, and perfect timing, right? You know, so the world was not, and so I just sat and created, and I thought, what am I going to do with all this stuff? And I, you know, sold some things online, but just kept creating. And then I just think everything happens the time that it's meant to happen for you. And now this year I'm getting out at the end of the year. I was at the Coop Workspace for a pop-up, and then a couple more pop-ups. And then this year I'm doing markets, and tomorrow I do my first one at the Arlington Farmers Market. And I would love to have people come down and say hi.
Isn't it season kickoff at
the
Arlington
Farmers
Market?
It is. And it's the Mother's Day market. And if you go to their page and comment on the actual post that talks about it, you have a chance to win a beautiful gift basket of things that all the local vendors have put in. And you have a
so
chance
let's
to
say
win
that again. You go to the
you can come down to the Arlington Farmers Market and enter to win, or you can go to their Facebook page and I believe their Instagram also, and comment on that. The rules are right in that post for you there. And then you'll be entered as well. And then I believe it's Saturday at 1 or 2, something like that. Don't quote me on that they announced the winner.
I'm sure
so
that says
fun,
it right in the post.
Yeah, it
I'm
says
sure
all of
the
that.
details.
Yeah.
So that'll be fun. And then it's also the bike rodeo for kids tomorrow as well in town. So if they have you know, if they need a new helmet, they're giving those out as well. And it's just a fun little activity. Plus it's Super Saturday in Arlington. So it's a busy day down there, and it's a fun kickoff.
So for anybody that doesn't know what Super Saturday is, you should.
Most of the stores in town, not all of them, but some of the stores in town offer a 20% off on Super Saturday. It's always the first Saturday of the month in Arlington. And they offer that to the people.
I don't know. Arlington Hardware is one of them that does it big time. And a lot of the other
there's tons of little shops that do. And I think it's great. I love my Arlington, you know, and I think just out there supporting everybody and hoping everybody does good.
That's a great day to go to town. It's a great day to come and have an adventure, go on a little road trip, check out Arlington, check out the farmers market, see some of the cute shops.
Stop at Moe's, grab a coffee, or any of them. You know, there's Stilly, there's a whole bunch of great coffee shops in town because we love our
So-
coffee here. in
Right. So
Washington,
you could
know?
literally walk, get like a coffee at Moe's, walk down, have breakfast at Stilly Diner, and then go have ice cream down by the coop. That
Yeah,
is that
yeah,
cute little
across
silver
from the
Scoop,
co-op,
Silver
yeah.
Spoon.
And then there's a food truck across the street there.
Jake's Food, yeah,
Jake's
yeah, and
Food.
he's there.
Jake's food
usually.
truck is really
Yeah.
good too.
Oh,
The
I've
bowling
heard
alley
that.
has really good food too.
Mhm. Yeah, there's tons, and
I
then
mean, there's tons of places to eat.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
Yeah.
and there's little stores now too, sprinkled in. So if you just wanted a soda or water or something,
Oh yeah,
you have
for
that
sure.
too. That like they
Yeah.
have like all the things. And one of my favorite things to do is to go around town and see the different art on the walls and then like take pictures of you with the art. Like,
Yeah.
like
They
it's
have a really pretty.
The
I don't want to
butterfly.
say who did it because I don't remember, and I don't want to quote,
yeah,
get the
same
wrong
one.
person, but right next to the bowling alley, there's a beautiful little backdrop.
Yeah.
And she
one's
did
my
so
favorite.
amazing there. And it's a cute little selfie spot. You see little kids out there getting there. It's
I see
adorable.
a bunch of my friends every so often pop up on Facebook with a selfie in front of the butterfly
Yeah.
wings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. And Save the Day Floral, Donna at Save the Day
Uh-huh.
Floral. I believe it's the same lady that just painted her back door.
Oh,
really?
And
that
so you'll
yesterday.
have to check out her post about that. It's amazing. It's that bright yellow like her sign is, and Save the Day Floral design. And so yeah,
And then you need to go in the country rows and touch all the clothes because
Yes.
they're so soft.
Yes.
And then you have to get yourself a really cool hat or boots.
There's some from
the boot
Beaufort.
gown.
Yeah. There's just some
What
neat
was the
shops,
other
and
thing
then
I
the
was gonna say?
secondhand shop, or not.
So while we're on the
vintage.
subject of supporting our Arlington, right, and loving on everybody that's around us, how have you been supported in return from all these wonderful people?
How have I been supported? I mean, there's
'Cause-
Carrie Byram, for
Uh-huh.
instance. She is a gem sent from God. I swear. She is the one that introduced me to the pop-up at the Coop, which is what got me off my bottom last
Well, let's
year.
plug her
Because
she hasn't been on here.
She's
So-
amazing, and she has.
So
she'll let me
Carrie
know. Carrie
is-
Byram. She's Avon representative, and I
What
don't
does she
know
say?
what
She has
she
a cute
calls it. She
little-
has a little thing, and I
Cute
can't
little
even think of it right
tagline. I'm
now.
like,
Yeah.
oh, dang it.
But not only that, she's just a really
Yeah.
good mentor, if you will. She's just a
She's been doing
doll,
it for
and
like 20 plus
she's-
years.
Yeah, she like 18 years, and she's been in Arlington for many, many, many years as
Mhm.
well. We went to school together, and she just has been very helpful. Tracy Oberg, you guys know her. She has been so helpful. If it wasn't for her, I would have never done my first live, because she's like, no, you just do it like this at the first time. I'm like, oh, okay, and she was so confident, and I was like, well, I can do that, and so you just try to,
Right.
but there's many people. I mean, all of them that like your posts or send you a message and say this is adorable, or say, they see a comment on a local page and they say, oh, Sheila at Crafty Old Soul can do that. Every single person it is just valuable to my heart for it, and I'm not successful, but I feel like I'm finally going somewhere, and I feel like with that can bring some relief to my husband and I, and just getting out in the community. And for me, even going to networking meetings it's a huge thing. I mean, I sat home for 2 years, and so it is huge to get out, and I feel good about going down and saying hi to some of the business owners, and just getting out and saying hi and it's because every one of those people that have done what they think is one little thing, it's huge to me.
Right.
So it's huge.
It's
and
the little
it's all
things,
of those things.
because I think that crafters at heart are like, it's the little things that are big to us.
It
like,
really
right?
is. Yeah, it really
Yeah.
is, and when somebody says, gosh, that's really nice, or yay for you, it's not just like, thank you. No, thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
I
So,
went to the For Pete's Sake farm last weekend to their vendor maple market.
Yes.
It was awesome.
Was it?
And introducing myself to some of these other women vendors. Many of them were women, run businesses and things like that. And they're like, oh yeah, I follow you. I watch your podcast.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's really cool. Like,
Yeah.
you have,
It makes you go, wow.
wow,
You know,
that's
or
really,
I was in the store last Friday, I believe,
Mhm.
and I had one of my sweatshirts on, and somebody said, "You're crafty old," and it was like, "Yeah, I'm Sheila. Nice to meet you." And it's just kind of it's like,
Uh-huh.
oh wow, this is kind of different, but it's
Mhm.
good.
Yeah.
It's a
good.
good different,
It's a
right?
good different. People are recognizing you for the good you put into the world, right?
And that's when you walked into our pop-up in Stanwood,
Mhm.
I knew immediately. It was like, oh, and you're like, yeah, I'm Charlie. I recognize you from, you guys were
That was
just
like-
kind of getting going.
Yeah.
That was
and-
the first time somebody had recognized me from the podcast in public. That's what threw me off.
Oh, I could tell. And then was
Lately-
it your son that was with you?
My son was with me.
And then he sat down with me, and it was just, we went through his shop and his projects, and he was so sweet. And I thought, well, my goodness, this family's adorable.
yeah, he likes to share about the different tools he's out in the shop
Yeah,
fixing.
and he showed me his line divider of tape on the floor. This is Dad's half, and this is my half. And I'm not and I said, that is a perfect system, and I wish I would have thought of that for my son.
Mhm.
Right.
This is your section where
Yeah.
you can make your mess and don't go into Dad's space.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
Then Dad gets cranky.
As
Yeah.
you can see, the
You have
shed
to
has
respect
got
other
plenty
people's
of
place.
space in there, like to make a mess.
Right. Yeah.
That's great though.
Yeah.
That's good therapy for him.
Yeah. And it is therapy for him.
Yeah.
He struggles, with his autism and getting emotions and feelings and stuff out. So going out and working on stuff in the shop, sometimes you can hear him beating on things,
Mhm.
and sometimes he's like, he's all like proud of himself because he fixed whatever it was. And
Yeah.
I love it when he
It's
gets like
just
the
awesome.
lawnmower going again, and he like has to bring it around and parade it,
I
and-
fixed
Yeah,
it.
and
I
it's
fixed it.
adorable,
Like, it's awesome.
and
It's
that's
awesome.
good,
Yeah.
clean stuff right
Mhm.
there,
Yeah.
and I could tell by his, just sitting and chatting with him. I mean, he was telling me about I can't repeat any of it probably because it's like listening to my son.
It's like talking to my son about
follow you.
Pokemon.
And
Yes.
it was a lawnmower, and he had to replace some sort of a plug and a wire.
And he's telling
and
you
a-
all the
He
technical
was,
names.
and when
Mhm.
you guys left, Tracy Oberg says, "Did you know him?" And I said, "No, I think it's Charlie's son." She said, "Oh, you talked to him like you knew." I said, "Well, we had a lot to talk about."
We did. And you were willing to listen.
Absolutely.
And I was so
Yeah.
grateful for that, because then it gave me, 10 minutes to.
You were able to
pick
go
up-
shop, and
I was able to shop for a couple of minutes and pick out some really great gifts from you ladies for my family for Christmas. So
You
it
did
was
too.
perfect.
You went around every little table. You're like, "Okay, Mom, bathroom basket or something." I think is what- kitchen.
She had
kitchen,
just
yeah,
remodeled her
yeah.
kitchen, so that was perfect. And then my sister-in-law got some jewelry, and I got some scrubbies and things like that for my mom. And
Yeah.
it was just fabulous being able to support our local community and give such interesting, unique, personalized gifts to
Right.
the people that I love in the process. So
And then you
Um,
weren't all stressed out like right before Christmas. Like you're like,
Yeah.
I'm done. Like
And
it
it's
was so
something
cool.
somebody
Like
else
it was
isn't
fun
gonna
to watch.
get
Right?
from-
Like
Oh,
yeah.
it's not going to be repeated.
Right.
Mom's not going to get the same 3 things because we all went to
Right.
Walmart or whatever it might be.
right.
And it's so personal when you can go and pick out,
mhm.
and make it personal.
And they've all come back and asked me, where'd you get the thing? Because
Yeah.
they love it so much. And I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, well, this is where I got the thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is
Well,
cool too.
Yeah,
right? Like,
absolutely.
Mhm.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've got a big stash of everybody's like business cards, and even if I got their card before, I get more next time I see them or whatever, because I'll hand them out to other people.
When people
like-
ask
Mhm,
about
yeah.
reference to
We keep a
something.
copy for ourselves, and for reference, and then we have extras that we just.
Mhm.
give
Good
them to people.
idea.
Yeah.
Because usually when I'm at a couple things, if I've gotten them before, I just say, oh, I've already gotten it, thinking I'm going to save the person the card, but that's a really good idea.
Well, it
To grab a
depends,
couple
you know.
extras and
If you like the person.
well,
then.
absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. If you trust and want to recommend that person.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So-
there's always that.
This week's sutra topic is truthfulness and sincerity, Satya, which not
Big
only
truth.
is being truthful to those around us, but also being truthful to ourselves and what that means to us. And we had a really great conversation with Devin yesterday about lying to ourselves. And I feel like we do that a lot. And then I think there's also more ways than what we think about that we're lying to those around us. And by lying to ourselves, we are also lying to everybody else around us about who we are.
Mhm.
So embracing that who you are in your creative craftiness and bringing that out, the shutdown or be it may have guided you into creating all these crafts and things, but it's really brought you out with it, like the real you.
Mm-hmm. It has. It's brought in a really authentic me,
Mhm.
And somebody a while ago said, when did you become so crafty? I said, I've always been. I think I just now have the opportunity.
Right.
And, you see where you've grown yourself. I mean, I can look back and see just in a year where
Mhm.
this has taken it, just the growth in it,
Right.
just not necessarily in sales and things like that, just me inside and how I'm feeling and how I want to present things and how I want to. And ultimately, I want to make pretty things and make people happy. And that's really it. But there's many more aspects to that. As we all know, you have to make yourself happy too. And if you're not happy inside and then you're clearly not being truthful with yourself,
Right,
that sort of
absolutely.
thing. And I think that everybody struggles with being truthful with themselves and people around them.
Mhm.
And nobody likes to be lied to. Nobody likes to feel
Mm.
like you can no longer trust the person you love or cared for,
Mhm.
or, but all it takes is that one time. And I don't want to be that person. And I'm not saying I never have been. Everybody's
Mhm.
been through things and grown and hope to be a better person. But I think that once you hit that spot with somebody, it's really hard to come out of that. And I just don't want to be that. I want to be as authentic as I can be. And this is me. And that's why I said when I came, I hope I didn't underdress. Because
like,
I'm
"You're not
constantly in a t-shirt and
I didn't expect you to
sweatshirt
show
or
up any
jeans, or,
different. I
Yeah.
would have
if I
worn
went
jeans
to an
if they were
event, I would,
clean.
something to dress up, or the ball thing at the Mary School thing or something like that.
Yeah.
Of course I would dress up, but
Mhm.
I just think it's really important just to be,
Authentically you.
yeah,
Absolutely.
absolutely. Yeah.
And I don't know what is any more authentic than jeans and a hoodie for Arlington, Washington.
Right,
Right.
right, right.
We all love
It's
a
kind
hoodie.
of
We
like
have a
the
hoodie
casual
for-
uniform of the area, right?
Yeah.
If it's not a hoodie, it's a flannel.
Yeah,
Right.
yes, that's
You-
right.
you're gonna
I have that
sport
too,
your
but I thought I might not dress
Arlington-
down that much.
Arlington hardware hoodie. You could have a Moe's hoodie. You could get a hoodie from Amy's AK Clips.
Yeah.
Clippers.
Yeah.
Yep.
She just rebranded it a little bit.
Did she?
Yeah,
Did
I think
she?
it's King's Clippers or something.
Kings, it is. I tried to
Oh.
tag
Yeah,
it
she
the other day and I
renamed it a
ended up
little
tagging
bit.
her because I think I tagged it wrong or something.
So I'm-
So I tagged
Oh, I
her.
like
Yeah.
that. Oh,
but-
that's exciting because you know
Mhm.
she just kind of jumped in.
She did.
Yeah,
She's like, well, I need
she
to
just
name.
like
So-
thrown in. So that's exciting to be
I
even
first
more.
met her at the Hammond Bread Company's networking
Oh,
meeting there, and I
okay.
just fell in love with her immediately.
she
She was just so
adorable?
cute and
She's
spunky,
so
and
sweet.
Yeah,
she's
yeah.
just-
She's
She's just
full
being
of
her,
sense.
Yeah,
like that's
being
that thing,
truthful
like
with who
just
she
being
is,
authentic.
yeah.
And
So
Yeah.
when I met her at one of the Empowered Women meetings, the first one that they had at her place, I didn't know her before that, but my husband had been getting his hair cut by her for like 4 years. I didn't know who
Oh,
who was cutting
really?
his
Right,
hair.
he's
And
just
then
off to get
when
his
I
hair
would
cut.
take my son to get his hair cut, I would just drive him over, and this is at the place where she used to work before she opened her own place. And it was during COVID, and I would just sit in the car and wait, and he would go in and get his haircut and come back out, and he'd be all super handsome and
Right.
stuff like that. And then I drive home, like
You never
That
met
was
her.
it.
You
That was
didn't
it.
get to meet her, right?
Yeah.
Like,
so it was fun to make that connection. Like,
Yeah, she
oh,
cuts
you
my
already
kids'
know
hair
my men.
too.
You
Yeah.
already cut their hair. Yeah, and she does a great job. Absolutely fabulous. And we love all of our members of our community, and I just think that feels like the theme of like today's podcast in general. So
Right, and that's just
community
it
love.
too. Community love and
Mhm.
support. It nobody
Mhm.
can do it together, no matter what you're doing. A
Alone.
podcast,
Nobody
a
can do it
gar-
alone.
or alone.
Yeah,
Everybody
yeah.
needs to be
yeah,
do
we
it
need to
together.
be together.
Nobody can do it
Definitely.
alone, right? No matter what it is,
Mhm.
you've got to have some either guidance, support, love, reassurance.
Mhm.
Whatever it might be. And I think that the more we learn that and do things together and support one another, the better the community will be. And it's just-
Absolutely.
I just
Yay!
really
Ding, ding, ding,
believe
ding,
that.
ding,
I
ding.
truly do. I just try just simple things. There's people that I can't really do anything for, and I really don't need to purchase anything from them, but I can share their post,
Right.
Mhm.
or I can give them a shout out on a
Mhm.
page when someone's asking for something,
Or-
those sorts of things.
Or give them a review.
Or give them a review, a
Reviews
Facebook
are-
or Google review.
Yeah.
I was just going through your guys' thing today, and I believe you have a spot now where people can do that.
Yeah,
correct?
we do
Yes.
have
we
a
do
Google
have
And
a
so,
review
yeah,
spot.
you guys will be on my list too. And I try to do that, go through and once or twice a week, give somebody a review,
Mhm.
And if you want to give a negative review, reach out to them first, talk with them privately, things like that, instead of just going and blasting it all over the world.
Right.
Because most, especially small business owners, are going to do what it takes to try to help
make it
you and make it right and
Like,
make you
wow, what
happy.
happened?
Yeah,
yeah,
and really truly are genuinely sorry that something happened,
Yeah.
and most community members will always, refer to, oh, I don't have those flowers in the shop, but go down to here. And,
Mhm.
it's just that, the community awareness and helpfulness
And abundance.
Yes.
It's not only go to my shop.
right.
It's not competitive.
Yeah, because there's enough
Yes.
to go around, and having that abundant feeling definitely
Yes.
is a thing. Like there's enough to go around.
Mhm.
The right person's going to walk into your shop at the right time,
Yes.
and the right person's going to walk into the next person's shop at the right time. Like you don't know what's going to fill their soul
Absolutely.
at that moment. Like,
Mhm.
Mhm.
yeah.
And that's just it. There is enough to go around. There's, do you think there's not at least 5 flower shops in town?
Right. In that 3-block stretch.
Yeah,
of
but they
downtown,
all
The-
support each other,
they do.
and or it's
the vintage
stores,
shops.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't have this over here, but they might.
exactly,
You hear that a lot.
and
Or
I've heard it myself, because I'll go in and
Mhm.
say, do you have da da da, and they say no, but I know there's one at Arlington Pickers or whatever,
Yeah.
so they just they're very helpful and kind that way, and
Mhm.
it just helps
It's kind
everybody
of amazing
flourish.
too, the variety of things you can get in downtown Arlington. Like you could actually get your key fixed for your car, like it, and get flowers and have lunch and dinner ready and get fresh, get some fresh cinnamon rolls for Mother's Day,
Plants
like
for
and
your
some fresh
garden.
ink
done.
and
Yeah, like-
grab a drink and play some bowling. There is a
Yeah.
lot of really cool things to do in our small towns, especially on the weekends
Mhm.
in the spring with the farmers markets. I'm super excited. Oh, I can't wait to tell my husband that it's opening weekend for farmers markets, because he's been wanting to go.
Okay.
And
Does the stand
I'm
open
so
today?
It's no, I believe I just got onto their page the other day, but it's coming up next weekend, or it was probably not last weekend. So
Yeah.
maybe it's coming up.
It's
soon.
coming.
It's
Yeah, I
coming.
wasn't the same weekend. I remember. I was looking.
Yeah.
We are trying to add these events and things to our community calendar as we find out about them. So if you have a community event that is not on our community calendar on our website, let us know. We'd love to add it.
Oh, I will let you know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
there's-
message me.
Okay.
Message me.
Maybe
And send
somebody's
it to
gonna
me.
pop up
Send me
somewhere.
the Facebook link, and then I can accept it. And if I do it on my phone, I can just go into the calendar and put it right on the calendar.
Oh, perfect.
I can't do it from the computer. So
And
that's
tell
sometimes
them where
that's
you get, where we find your calendar.
Oh, www.womeninleadershipbsmb.com. Right down at the bottom of the front page. It looks so cool on the phone.
Right. And it's
Nice.
right next to the most recent podcast download. So it's super handy
So
there.
you can download the podcast,
Right.
and then boom, there
Yeah,
you go.
you
Yeah.
can
got
listen to
it.
Sheila and then go meet her at the farmer's
At the
market
farmer's
tomorrow.
market, yeah. Yeah,
And if you
come
need
in.
directions, it's right there because
Yeah,
the
if you
Facebook
go
event.
down Olympic and head south, you're gonna see it. It's right there at the
Yeah.
Legion Park.
Oh, you can't miss it. In
Yeah,
Arlington.
no.
You can't miss
And
it.
actually, it's not gonna be in the park this year, or
Oh.
right now, this weekend, because
Mhm.
they're redoing the grass and
Mhm.
things. So we're gonna be in that big parking lot.
Okay.
Right there in
By
front
City
of the-
Hall?
Yeah, in right there where the little chamber building, the little red building is,
Mhm.
that whole parking lot right there. So,
Okay.
yeah,
Yay.
yeah.
I'm so excited.
Yeah,
That
I
is
am.
I'm
too.
really excited.
I'm
And then
excited to
there's-
see all the little kids on their bikes too, and just having fun and doing their little, oh, I can go around these corners.
And if you
just
have like
everything.
that moody teenager that's like, I don't want to do any of that, there's also Pokemon Go. Like,
Oh,
there,
yeah, I
like,
forget
and you
about
don't
that.
even have to have internet on your phone practically. Like, there's so much like if you have Xfinity or anything like that you use like a kid tablet on, you can put Pokemon Go on there, and then there's like so much Wi-Fi in downtown Arlington.
There is. And I know their phone's constantly pinging.
Yeah. So-
Do you want this one or this one or this one? or this one?
Yeah.
So I love that too, because then you have something else for them to do
Mhm.
that they, because my kid's the Pokemon guy.
Is he?
Like
Yeah, for
I'll
sure.
go with you with that if we can play Pokemon Go.
Mhm.
Like,
Oh, I never would
that's-
have thought of that.
yeah.
Good
So
idea.
and there's so
Yeah.
many Pokestops in downtown Arlington, like walking. When Pokemon Go first started, I wasn't in super good health, and I would walk a little ways, and there was like enough spots that I could sit in each block.
Uh-huh.
Like,
yeah.
and the kids would go to the end of the block, and then I would go to the next block and have a seat. Like,
Nice, yeah.
So, I made
Another
it work.
nice thing of Arlington, you got the benches.
Yeah, right. So,
Absolutely. And I am just so looking forward to it. And I'm looking forward to seeing these new crafts that you've been making, those really cool resin like vases.
Yes, those are so
really
fun
cool
and
and super
oh,
pretty.
what I love about those, well, there's a few things, but what I love the most about making those is there's no mold. So it's just a free pour. I don't know how it's going to come out. And when you do things in molds, that's what you get.
Yeah.
I mean, you can mess it up and you can get air bubbles and blah, 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 but that's what you get. And so when I do those, it's kind of interesting. If I don't flip it at the right time, I get drip mark, it's just, there's a lot that goes into them, and a lot of, okay, I got to stay home the next 4 hours and watch when it's time to move it, and that sort of thing. But it's a lot of fun because I don't know what I'm going to get. And so it's kind of
Right.
Ooh.
So it's like a surprise reveal when it's done. You're like,
how
oh,
are
that
these
worked
gonna
out.
fold?
You're like,
How
good.
are they going to drip? Are they going to drip?
Mhm.
Are these colors going to look good? Ooh, don't put that one on Facebook.
Better lighting.
I definitely have a box of stuff that I just, because you practice, right?
Mhm.
And you aren't good at everything the first try, rarely
Mhm.
ever. And so it's stuff that I'll never do anything with. And every once in a while, the grandkids will find something in there, Grandma, I really like this bookmark. Can I have it? Honey, it bends. It doesn't even stay hard. I mixed it wrong or whatever, So but I got a big box of
They love
pulls
it.
that, it just sits there, but a lot of fun. Love
Maybe
it.
you should put it
Love
out for the kids, like dollar grab box or something.
Something like
of,
that,
like,
yeah.
or appropriate price, but like one-offs or like
Yeah.
cactus projects or
And some of them are like the little trinket boxes that I make, and I had put the flowers in the upside down, because when you're doing those, you're actually working from bottom up, and I wasn't thinking, so
the flowers are
upside down
backward,
and things like
like-
that. So a lot of things, it's just that probably nobody would notice on a little white flower, but I notice, and I know it's there. So it's like, no, not
If you
selling
like
that one.
inexpensive mom day gifts from kids, like
Oh yeah, I got $5 keychains, $5 necklaces, epoxy necklaces, and mom keychains, and I have a couple that are hearts that go together, and you get this out. Yeah.
Aw.
So there's definitely, and a lot of $5 to $10 price points on that stuff. Yeah. So very,
Lots of stuff.
yeah, lots of stuff to choose from. Yeah.
That's
Did you-
cool.
Yeah.
That is very cool.
Yeah, I'm really excited, and I have a lot more signs done up. People are big on signs, especially sarcastic-y, funny ones.
Yeah.
They're really big on those.
Mhm.
I was quite surprised how big they, and it was hard because I have some that are Bible quotes,
Mhm.
and then I have some that say things that I wouldn't say right now. And so how do you display
Here's-
those?
here's
Maybe it's like
A yoki doki section, and here's the adult section.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Have you been in the Arlington pharmacy to the adult section?
Yeah.
Maybe it's like
Have
that.
the little
like
thing where it's like, yeah.
little
Yeah,
curtain.
so it's a work in progress to get that all figured out. But people chuckle and laugh, and that makes me happy. So
right,
yeah.
right. Because then you're spreading joy and
Mhm.
laughter.
Absolutely,
and-
yeah.
yeah.
And like up at the Granite Market, it was a FFA supporting one, and there was more FFA students that came over to get their mother things from my booth than, I mean, not than other customers, but a lot. I was they were just like,
Kids like
"Oh, I
to
would
be
love
able to buy something for
Oh,
mom. Like it's
it was
super like
amazing."
having something that they can get like $5 or $10, like
Yeah.
they
And
really
expensive.
like
And
that.
things
and they
that
were
thoughtful
so
things.
funny too, because well, I have $3 on this Apple card, and I have 2 on, and it was just adorable. And I'm like, how about we just lump that to $5 instead of 7, so we can just, it was a lot of fun to watch them pick out things and be one of the girls, no, my mom won't like that. Don't get her that. No. She will not like that at all. But she won't like that. Get her that one, and things like just supporting each other
Mhm.
too.
Oh,
And
cute.
so, yeah, that was fun. It was a lot of fun. Lots of support, lots of fun.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Well, I hope you guys
I
all
guess
love
that's
and
really
support.
that sincerity piece, right?
Yeah.
Like finding something that
Mhm.
is for the person that's like right.
Right.
Mhm.
Finding
Yeah.
that at a networking meeting the other day, Carrie again she was the speaker that day, and she had talked about how to put gifts together that you're really thinking about instead of just
Mhm.
going to purchase something off the shelf. Think about that person. She gave us a sheet of paper and said, I'm going to give you 10 seconds or whatever it was, right? Think of one person you'd buy a gift for and what things they would like. And I mean, people had 8 and 10 things in that few, just about one person. So now go find those types of items. People like coffee, get them a cute coffee cup. And it did end up a coffee cup and coffee and signs and things like that. But just think about those gifts you're given, and personal ones are always to me better,
Yeah,
even when the
absolutely.
grandkids come in with this cute little card that you can't even read because everything's misspelled. It's adorable.
That's
They
the
put their heart and
best.
soul into
Yeah.
that, and so, yeah, I love
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Those little kids, they work hard to write those letters.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
You know?
And they've sounded those words out 50 times trying to write those letters.
Or ask mom to write it on a piece of paper for me so they can copy it down, right?
Yes.
Right, because we
Yeah.
used to do that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
I miss my kids being little.
Yeah.
miss
Mine are
being
all
little.
big. They're adults now, and 2 of them have their own. And yeah, it's a hard transition when you go from, they need me all the time to, they only partially need me. Now they only need me as a babysitter. What's going on here?
This is weird.
But then at the same time, you're like, but now it's my grandbaby.
Right.
So
Yeah. Oh,
there's-
yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
It's
Absolutely.
a whole
yeah.
different level of
Lots
squish.
of fun. Oh, yeah. It's, I mean, it is. And
Level
between
of squish. I
the
love
2 of
it.
us, we have 10 grandbabies. And
Mhm.
so they're from, 10, 11 years old on down to 5 months old,
Mhm.
so we got the ranges to squish on.
Yay.
I love it.
Oh, thank you so much
Yeah.
for joining
thank
us
you
in
for
studio
having
today.
me. Thank
This
you.
is-
Yes, I
It's
am so
super
excited
fun.
I finally made it. Yeah.
Yay. And thank you guys for hanging in with us.
Yes.
I know the first part of our Facebook Live was no sound, but hey, we're
We had
there.
a great conversation. just to let you know.
Well, at least we figured out to turn the microphone on before we actually started recording our podcast. and
Absolutely.
all that.
Right.
But anyway, we love you all. We appreciate you all. And make sure you download the podcast, and we'll see you guys next time.
Namaste.
Namaste.